everyone, and welcome to today's exercise class. Today we are going to be doing a full body exercise class. My name is Liz, I'm a registered kinesiologist, and today I have Erica with me, and she's a recreational therapist. She'll be demonstrating the modified versions of some of the exercises we'll be doing today. As far as equipment goes, we may need a couple things before we get started. First thing you'll need is a sturdy chair, whether you're standing behind it and following me, or you're sitting in it like Erica is. Either way, you're gonna wanna make sure it's a chair with no wheels, it won't move on you, and it's nice and secure. The other things that you may need today, Erica today has a can of soup or a lighter weight, whatever you have at home, as well as a ball. And for myself, I have two weight options, a heavier weight option for my biceps and my lighter weight option for my shoulders. I also have my ball next to me as well, and I also have my water as well as Erica, so if at any point you need to grab a drink of water, you don't need to wait for us to tell you. We can always grab a drink of water at any point. So we'll get started with a little bit of a warm up, get our bodies moving today, and then we'll dive into some cardio, some strengthening for our whole body, and finish off with some stretching together. So let's start with our lower body in our warm up today. And I'm gonna start by simply rolling my one foot back and forth, heel to toe. So whenever you're ready, roll that foot back and forth. Perfect. That looks good, everyone. Couple more, and I will switch over to the other foot. So whenever you're ready, opposite foot, heel to toe. Good job. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna take it up to our knees with a tap forward. So whenever you're ready, start tapping that foot or extending it in front of you. Whether you're standing or seated, you're sitting up nice and tall, focusing on that good posture. Good job. Try your best to really over-exaggerate that tap forward to really get into those knee joints. We wanna make sure all of our joints are ready for exercise. Changing that toe tap now. Let's start digging those heels in front of us. Perfect. So you might notice a little bit of a light stretch along the back of the legs with that heel dig compared to the toe tap today. That looks really good. So I'm gonna now change that heel dig out to the side and tap those toes. So whenever you're ready, extend those feet out to the side, one at a time. Whatever feels right for you, we wanna open up those hip joints. All right, so we're opening up those hip joints with a toe tap out to the side. Perfect. A few more just like that, and then last but certainly not least, let's tap those feet under. So tucking those feet back or underneath that chair. Arms are kind of relaxed right now. We're giving them a little bit of a break before we get them moving here. Excellent. Getting into those hip joints a little bit bigger now, lifting up those knees one at a time. Wanna make sure that I'm waking up those bigger joints in our body. Perfect. Good work. Lifting up those knees one at a time for a few more. And relax. Shake it out. I'm gonna take it up to my upper body now, starting with a nice big shoulder roll. Let's actually focus on one arm at a time here. So I'm gonna start picking on one arm, giving it a little bit of extra attention. Maybe driving that elbow back best you can. Sometimes we're a little bit stiff depending on what our day has looked like so far. So I always like to do a nice big shoulder roll. Beautiful. And we'll try now for a few more. And last one, let's take it over to the other shoulder, rolling that arm all the way up, back and around. Good job. Couple more, nice big circle there with that shoulder. And last one, perfect. Take those hands together now for me. Let's actually reach them up overhead as high as those shoulders will allow and back down. Beautiful, all the way up and all the way back towards your chest. For a few more, getting into those shoulders a little differently here. All the way up and all the way back. 2 more. And last one. Nicely done. Keep those hands together. Let's roll those wrists. Drawing that nice big circle with those wrists. And maybe trying to go the opposite direction best you can. Looks good. And then we'll separate those hands. Make a nice big fist with your hands and then open up those fingers as wide as they'll go. We'll do that a few times just to get into those smaller joints. Nicely done. So now our body is feeling warmer, a little bit more ready for exercise. So we're gonna dive into a little bit of cardio, get our body moving a little bit faster, a little bit more intensity required, starting with a nice steady march. Perfect. So my goal for my cardio today is to get all those steps in. So we'll kind of vary the pace and the direction of our march. And if at any point I lose you, come back here at that center march. Keep those arms pumping. Beautiful. I have a nice natural arm swing. Hang onto that chair if you need it for support. Same idea if you're seated, maybe a light swing of those arms. Perfect. So if you're feeling comfortable here and you'd prefer to stay here, stay here. If you're looking for a little bit more, we're gonna start to change the direction of that march. So try now marching forward a little bit and backwards. So changing the direction forward with the march and back. Same idea if you're seated. So you'll notice Erica is extending those legs out in front of her and tucking them back underneath that chair. Perfect. Marching forward, marching back, whatever pace feels most comfortable for you. A little bit of direction change is actually focusing on a little bit of dynamic balance today. And I never move too far from my chair. I always want to make sure if I need to hold on, the option is open in there for me. Good work. Extending those feet forward and back. Good job. I have, again, a nice natural arm swing. I'm not too concerned about the arms quite yet. Just getting myself comfortable with that direction change. Maybe one more time, traveling forward and traveling back. Come back to wherever is comfortable and march those feet out. Shake it out. We'll reset our body here. I'm gonna keep marching. Good work. So now I'm gonna start traveling that march side to side. Perfect. So Erica's already started changing her direction and she is now tapping out to the side, shifting that march a little bit out to the side. Maybe it's 2 steps one way and 2 steps the other way. Perfect. Again, taking this at your own pace, I wanna make sure that you're challenging the outer and inner thighs with this march. A little bit of a 2-step. By the end, I'll have you dancing. Out to the side and back. Good work. Keep breathing. And again, if at any point we lose you, come back to that center march. A little bit of coordination with today's cardio. Good work. Whatever feels more comfortable for your arms as well. I'm not too worried about them quite yet. Good job. Maybe a few more if you can. And I will meet you back at a center march. Well done. A little bit of a workout for the mind and the body today. I am going to now change my march to being up on my toes. So grow a couple inches if you can. Hold on to that chair for support if you're standing. We are marching up onto those toes. Beautiful. Same idea if you're seated. So Erica has a great natural arm swing going as she marches on those toes. And I'm gonna have you alternate now to march on those heels. So whenever you're ready, lift those toes. This one's tough on the balance, tough on those muscles in front of our shins. Try it again for me, up onto those toes. Perfect. So we're really challenging the backs and the fronts of our lower leg here as we march up on those toes and back onto those heels. Good work. Try that 2 more times for me, everyone. So come back up onto those toes. Feel those calf muscles fire up here. And back onto those heels. Well done. One more time for good luck. We got this. All the way up onto those toes. And back onto those heels. Well done, everyone. So we're gonna do everything that just happened one more time. So I'm gonna start coming back behind my chair, starting with a nice steady center march. Great time to grab a drink of water if you need it. So now, again, we're starting from the top with that center march. We'll change the directions of our march. Forward, back, side, side. Finish off with a little bit of marching on the toes and the heels, and then we'll cool down our bodies a little bit. So whenever you're ready, get those arms pumping a little bit heavier. Perfect. We are now going to change the direction of our march. So come forward for me a little bit. Maybe travel that march forward and back. And forward and back. Beautiful. Again, challenging yourself. Maybe you've picked up that pace a little bit this time, now knowing what's coming next. And then if you wanted to, if you're up for it, you can add those arms in. And I'll challenge you now that when you travel forward, bring those arms forward and back. Forward and back. Beautiful. So whatever feels comfortable for you. If at any point the arms are too much, don't worry about them. Perfect. I'd rather see you get those steps in today. Perfect. So the arms are dictating where you're going. Forward and back. Keep breathing. Forward and back. Try for a few more of those, everyone. You're doing a great job. Back. Last one. And back. Well done. Shake it out. Shake out those arms if you need to. Next piece was that 2-step one way and 2-step the other way. So Erica's already got the hang of it. And we're marching 2 to one side, 2 to the other side. Good work. We look good out there, everyone. So if that 2-step is too tricky, come back to a center march. But if you're looking for a little bit more and you're thinking, this isn't enough coordination yet, Liz, let's add some arms and go one way and the other way. Perfect. If the pace is too fast, you can always slow it down. Perfect. My arms are simply telling me where to go. So they're going to the right and the left. Perfect. Good job. Keep those arms and legs moving if you're feeling super coordinated today. Good work. Keep going for me, side to side. Couple more seconds left here. We got this. And relax. Bring that march back center. Catch your breath. Reset your brain. All right, everyone. So now I'm gonna move over to the side slightly so you can see my feet a little bit better, but we are getting into that marching up onto the toes, marching on the heels. So Erica's already ahead of me. I'm joining her up onto those toes. Maybe a light swing of those arms with that march. If you need the chair, it's there. And change that high march now onto those heels. So whenever you're ready, try and dig those heels. Try and dig those heels into the ground best you can. And try all the way up onto those toes. Perfect. We are almost there, everyone. Back onto those heels. Good work. Really tough on those shin muscles. I know, we're almost there. Stick with me. Come back up onto those toes, all the way up. Hang onto that chair if you need to. It's there for support. And then I'm diving into that heel march. Here we go. Lift those toes up best you can. You should feel it in the front of your shins. All the way up again. Here we go. Up onto those toes. Maybe a light arm swing if you're feeling like you want to get those arms involved. And back onto those heels. Good work. Let's try it 2 more times. We can do it. All the way up onto those toes. Perfect. Feel those calf muscles firing up. And back onto the heels. Last time, we'll make it good. Coming up onto those toes. And back onto the heels. Good work. We're gonna dive into a little bit of a cool down now. So starting by slowing down the pace of our march here, we wanna make sure we are gradually bringing that heart rate down. We never wanna completely stop. At this point, you might have noticed your effort was peaking at the top there. Your shortness of breath was elevated. You may have even been sweating a little bit. Perfect. Slowing down the pace now to maybe even stopping with the legs, and I'm gonna take it back to my upper body, starting with that shoulder roll again. Rolling out the arms, giving the shoulders a little bit of love. And I'm now going to take my hands together, reach them out as far as they'll go, and bring them back towards my chest. Perfect. And we'll keep the arms together here. My next movement in my cool down, I'm gonna start paddling from side to side. Here we go. Perfect. A nice leisure paddle, side to side. Get that upper back and our whole arm engaged. Couple more. And then we'll take it now down to our lower body. So whenever you are ready, I'm gonna hang onto that chair, lift those knees up one at a time, noticing that our pace has significantly slowed down. A lot of marching today, so you may have noticed with all that marching that your hip flexors are a little bit tired. Couple more. And change that high knee march now to a tap backwards or underneath that chair. Really try and extend that foot backwards, maybe lengthen in the hip flexor area just a little bit. Well done. Extending that foot straight back for a few more. And last one, take it now over to our ankles and feet. We're coming back to roll that foot back and forth, heel to toe. Beautiful. And over to the other side. Rolling that foot back and forth, heel to toe. Well done. So by now, our breathing rate maybe has returned to that resting level, same with our heart rate. So we are going to dive into a little bit of strengthening next. So whenever you're ready, I'm gonna have Erica start with a can of soup. For myself, I am grabbing a little bit of a heavier hand weight, something that I feel comfortable lifting for both my bicep curl and a little bit of overhead press. So this will be a little bit trickier on the shoulder, so maybe that medium to heavier weight if you're picking a hand weight that you feel comfortable using. I'm starting sitting up nice and tall. Erica's sitting up nice and tall as well. We're gonna start with that bicep curl, so bring that weight towards your shoulder. Second piece of this exercise is a big press overhead, bringing that weight back in and straight back down. Beautiful, all the way up. Big press, back in and down. Nice. So you want to make sure there's a couple different pieces of this exercise, so we'll make sure we're hitting each part. Bicep curl starting, big press overhead, bringing it back in towards your side and all the way back to a straight arm. Perfect. You're gonna feel a little bit of fatigue or some tiredness in those muscles, the bicep muscles, but also the shoulders. And if at any point you're feeling like this weight is too heavy, or you're noticing that it's taking a lot more effort to lift that weight, you can always opt for something lighter like Erica, or you can ditch the weight altogether. Perfect, keep breathing. And back down, all the way up. Good job. We'll try for 3 more of these, and by this point, your arm should be saying, okay, I'm ready for a little bit of a rest. Last 2. Beautiful, and last 1. So our goal is to aim for anywhere between 10 to 15 repetitions. We'll shake that arm out. And if by the time you get to that 15th repetition, you're feeling like that was too easy, next time, perhaps you're picking up something a little bit heavier. All right, I'm switching over to the opposite side. Same with Erica, sitting up nice and tall. We're set up and ready to go. Bicep curl, a big press overhead, back in and down. Beautiful. Good job. Bicep curl, a big press overhead, back in and down. Making sure again that you're always checking in with that shoulder. You want to make sure that you're not overdoing it or pushing past any points of pain. And if I'm doing too many for your liking, you can always opt to take a little bit longer of a rest if you'd prefer. Good job. Arms are gonna start to feel pretty tired. They should feel like they're definitely doing work here. Good work. You can always use things that are within your home. If you don't have a traditional hand weight, and you can always build by adding a couple more cans of soup into a reusable bag. That's always an option. Last 2. And last 1. Good job, shake it out. We are going to put that weight aside for right now here. I'm now gonna have Erica turn her chair in towards the middle. I am also going to do the same. And Erica's also going to grab her ball for this one. Okay. So for this exercise, you'll notice both of us are sitting up nice and tall. Erica now has her ball placed about where her shoulder blades are, and that meets the chair. For myself, I'm gonna cross my arms over my chest here, and what we're going to both be working on is pressing back into the chair. For Erica, she's gonna take a deep breath in, and as she breathes out, she's pressing back against that ball. For myself, I'm doing the same thing, deep breath in. As I breathe out, I'm gonna lean back into that chair, almost like I'm going to touch the back of it, but then I change my mind and I'm gonna sit up nice and tall. Now, without using the ball, you are engaging those core muscles a little bit deeper, a little bit more intensely. But please make sure that this is okay for your back. It doesn't cause any discomfort. Perfect. And you also want to make sure that your back is nice and straight the entire time. So you're not curving that back or caving those shoulders in. Your posture is still nice and tall. You want that feeling like someone glued something super straight to your spine. Perfect. Taking some deep breaths in and out. You'll notice both of our feet are flat on the ground. So you want to make sure you have a little bit of leverage here with pressing back into the ball. or into the back of the chair. But for myself, I'm never quite touching the back of the chair. Perfect. Trying for maybe 3 more of these. Trying to keep your gaze straight forward, just like Erica is. You want to keep your posture nice and tall and your spine nice and straight. 1 more here. Beautiful. And we will relax, shake it out. I'm gonna have you remove that ball, Erica, and you're not gonna get rid of it, but we'll turn our chairs back towards the front. Perfect. So for this next exercise, I am going to be demonstrating some sit to stands. So sitting and standing consecutively while Erica places that ball underneath 1 foot. Perfect. So she's sitting up nice and tall. She wants to make sure that foot is directly under that knee, so her knees, ankles, and feet are all in line with that ball. For myself, I am going to set myself up here to sit up nice and tall. My feet are gonna be about hip distance apart, maybe a touch wider, and I actually have my feet tucked in a little bit. My goal for this one, my arms are gonna be crossed out in front, preferably not off of my legs or the arms of a chair. And we're gonna put our nose over our toes. I'm gonna push through my legs to stand all the way up. Meanwhile, Erica is now gonna be driving some pressure into that ball with her foot, engaging all those leg muscles into her glutes. Same idea as I push all the way up into a full stand, reaching back for that chair if I need to on my way back down. Perfect, so all the way up or driving that foot all the way into that ball. Perfect, all the way up and back down. This exercise is super important. It's a very functional movement. We do it all the time. We get up and out of a chair, we get up from our bed. Perfect, so it's super important that we practice these things regularly. Get all those big muscles engaged. Beautiful. If you need to take a rest at any point, go ahead. I'm now going to give Erica a chance to switch over to the other foot as I continue with my sit to stands. Big press through those legs, all the way up and back down. You'll notice that I am now breathing in and out as I'm doing these exercises and coming up to a full and complete stand. Beautiful. This is a great option if you notice a lot of pressure on the knees with sit to stands, or if sitting and standing is a little bit too hard on all of those other major joints. Perfect. I have a few left here. By now, Erica's legs are getting tired. My legs are getting tired. And I am going to now relax. So shake it out. All right, and I am going to now come back behind my chair. Perfect. I'm gonna dive into a little bit of balance next. So I'm gonna have Erica demonstrate these things seated as well. So I'm gonna show you various stances, and I'm also going to show you what it looks like to use the ball during your balance exercises. So for Erica, she's gonna start with her feet nice and close together, sitting at the edge of her chair. I am also going to have my feet nice and close together, and I'm standing up nice and tall. Now, if removing hand support is something that comes easy to you and you're feeling like you need a little bit more, that's when you're gonna introduce the ball, and maybe you're passing that ball from one arm to the other arm, maybe reaching in different directions. Erica's gonna demonstrate reaching in various directions to help try and engage those core muscles, throw off her balance just a little bit here. Perfect. And this one's looking like it's pretty easy, so we're gonna dive into the more challenging stance, which is that semi-tandem or staggered stance. So for myself, I'm gonna start by putting one foot slightly in front of the other. Same with Erica in that seated position. Erica is now gonna start reaching from one side to the other side. And if you feel comfortable including that ball, that's when you're gonna pass that ball from one arm to the other, reaching maybe in different directions. And this is only if you're feeling completely confident in removing hand support. I always recommend doing balance by a countertop or a sturdy piece of furniture. Perfect. Looks good, everyone. I am now going to shake it out. I'll meet you on the other side. Perfect. And right away, I'm feeling confident lifting hand support. Erica's gonna start reaching from side to side, different directions. And now we're getting comfortable with using that ball in various directions. Perfect. So I'm gonna shake it out now and move into that full tandem stance. So I am going to put my ball aside here for a moment, get myself set up first in that full tandem or that heel to toe stance. Erica's doing the same. And before I include that ball or start reaching, I wanna make sure my weight is even between both feet. Now, if this feels okay and you feel confident enough to add that ball in, that's where you're gonna hold on, or you can start reaching and you can start going in different directions only if you feel comfortable and confident. If at any point you don't feel safe or this is too much, ditch the ball, use that hand support if you need to, or opt for a different stance. Beautiful. Looks good, everyone. Couple more seconds spent here. And then last but certainly not least, I am switching what foot is in front. So I'm gonna switch those feet one last time here and picking up that ball if you feel comfortable doing that. Otherwise, we know the drill now. Erica's gonna start reaching in different directions while I pick up that ball and reach and pass that ball, maybe both arms, maybe one arm, whatever feels good for you. You should feel those toes wiggling in your shoes. Perfect. So reaching in different directions will really help challenge your balance, try and put you a little bit off balance even, to engage those core muscles and those muscles in your feet to keep your body upright in the correct position. A couple more seconds spent here. Perfect. Well done, everyone. A great progression for the balance today. So shake it out, do whatever you have to do. I am now going to grab my hand weight as well. Erica will also be having her hands out in front of her as if she's gonna serve a tray. Now for this one, I am going to move into a lunge-like position. And I am going to move that arm down by my side, pulling back with those arms. Erica's now squeezing those shoulder blades together, leading with the elbows and relaxing forward. Beautiful, that feeling like she's serving that tray back towards her and out in front of her. For myself, I have that weight in one arm. I'm driving that elbow back to squeeze that shoulder blade. Nicely done. Gliding those arms along your side. And for this one today, Erica's gonna be doing 2 sets of the same exercise while I use the hand weight on the right, and then I'll switch over to my left side. Perfect. Trying for 2 more on this side. And my last one. Well done. So I'm gonna now switch over to the other side. So take your time getting there. Erica's gonna shake out her arms in between, and we're moving over to the opposite side. I'm gonna hang onto that chair, drop the other arm down, and we're going to be pulling back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and relaxing back down. You'll notice my posture is stooped forward just a little bit here. Perfect, just enough so that I can really pull that arm straight back as if I'm starting a lawnmower. My other arm is holding on for support here, and Erica is still squeezing both those shoulder blades together, leading back with those elbows. Good work. Trying for a few more on this side, everyone. Good job. Last one. And shake it out. Well done. So I'm gonna put this weight aside. For myself now, I'm opting for a lighter hand weight or a can of soup, whatever you have. Erica today is gonna demonstrate using no hand weights. So her setup actually looks very similar to her last exercise. For myself, I'm starting with my hand weight at my front. If I were to turn sideways, you'll notice that my arms are at a 90-degree angle. Our idea here is that we want to open up our arms as if we are going to be opening up a cabinet, bringing them back together, and I am gonna switch that hand weight from side to side. Perfect, adding a little bit of resistance. And this exercise is actually targeting the back of our shoulder muscles. So we wanna make sure that we're always strengthening the muscles around our shoulders. They're super important for making sure that we are preventing injury there. Good job. And it depends on that full range of motion with how far you're able to open up those arms and bring them back together. Good work. Trying for a few more of these. Those muscles, they may seem small, but they are super important to strengthen. Last one, and relax. Awesome work. So we are going to ditch our equipment and start to dive into a little bit of stretching before we conclude today's class. I'm gonna put that weight aside, and I am going to start by extending one foot in front, and we are going to start with our lower body stretches today. So Erica's gonna do the same, extending that foot in front. Toes are gonna be lifted towards the ceiling, and for that deeper stretch, I'm sitting back on my hips. Erica's gonna hinge forward slightly. We're gonna take some deep breaths in and out here with this. We wanna make sure we're giving those muscles some extra love that we just worked on so hard. Promote that healing and flexibility. And then slowly bring that leg back in to meet the other. And then I'm gonna slowly bring that other leg out in front, dig that heel out in front. Start to sit back with those hips if you're standing, maybe a slight bend with the upper body if you're seated. Perfect. You should feel that stretch all the way from the heel up the back of the leg, maybe even into the glutes slightly. Beautiful. And I will slowly bring that leg back in, march it out a little bit. I'm gonna move to my upper body here, starting by reaching one arm across my body, opposite arm tucking under, and I'm gonna roll that wrist out best you can. Well done. Stretching out those shoulders, shaking out the hands. If you were holding onto any equipment, oftentimes we don't realize that we're holding on nice and tight. So it's always a good idea. Stretch out, shake out those hands. Beautiful. And I'm gonna drop that arm down by my side, heading over to the opposite side, reaching that arm across, opposite arm tucking under, and rolling that wrist. Good work. Perfect. So it's always a good idea. Shake out those hands. Sometimes our everyday things cause us to hold a lot of tension in those hands. So always a good idea to shake them out or remind ourselves to do that. Relax those shoulders down by your side. You can hold your chair if you need to. We're gonna turn our head over to one side. Perfect. And then we'll take our time slowly heading over to the opposite side. Good work. Bring that head back, center everyone. Tilt our head over to one shoulder. And up and over to the opposite side. All right, everyone, bring that head back center. We're gonna finish off as we always do, a couple deep breaths in and out, all the way up with those arms and out. One more time, deep breath in and out. Awesome work today, everyone. For more information about the Windsor-Essex Community Health Center, you can visit our website linked down below.